quite apt to what I want to talk about today, so come here you.
So you see the scratch over here? I was trying to canter on her and she booked and read and booked, booked and read and booked all over and over again.
After you had your little moment, what did you do? What happened?
I decided to get back on and try canter again.
And who taught you how to do that?
Mum.
Mummy taught you? Right, okay, you can go now, thank you. Terrifying, but I was so proud at the same time. Welcome to episode 11 of the Just Horse Riders podcast with me, Aaron Englander. As I started filming this podcast, a young lady actually happened to come into the studio, and actually it's pretty good timing and quite apt to what I want to talk about today. So come here you. Come here. This is Aiya. This is my daughter. She's, how old are you now? You're 7 years old, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or 32?
No,
No, she's 7. And it's good timing because I want to tell them what happened to you. Yeah.
So you see the scratch here?
Who's speaking to this?
So you see the scratch over here? I fell off a pony, a 6-year-old pony actually, and her name was Willow. So I was trying to canter on her and she booked and read and booked, booked and read and booked all over and over again. I fell off badly, but the reins got in between my neck and it went.
It gave you a bit of a friction burn, didn't it? So you did an almighty front flip over the head of Willow.
Yeah.
Which was quite terrifying, but you know, after you had a little moment, this is why I want you to tell everybody. After you had your little moment, what did you do? What happened?
I decided to get back on and try canter again.
And did me or Mummy tell you to do that?
No.
No. So why did you do it?
Because I knew if I got back on, I would be a better horse rider.
Okay. And who taught you how to do that?
Mum.
Mummy taught you?
Yeah.
Right, okay, you can go now, thank you. No, come here. I'm joking. No, you did. Super proud of you for being so brave and carrying on, because it was a bit of a bad fall. But this is all about, this is what it's like having horses, huh?
It's all about horses.
It's what happens.
If anyone falls off, everyone says, if you fall off, you become a better rider.
That's right. I've fallen off 3 times and I don't even ride that much. Anyway, that was a lovely little story from Aiya. So I'm sure we'll see her again, but as you can see, quite the showman. But you go inside. I've got to talk about some other items today, which actually falls in line with what Aiya is experiencing. Yeah, go on, you can open it. All right, bye. Bit of a slam at the door there. It was quite scary yesterday. Like I said, we got this new pony called Willow. She's only 6 years old. The pony, not Aiya. Aiya's 7 years old. She's got a bit of a naughtiness in her, a bit of cheekiness, but nothing that is too dangerous. All that happened yesterday was that she threw in a little book and Aiya lost her balance and went over head first, and the reins sort of gave her a bit of a friction burn. It happens. I've seen worse injuries than that. But I was so proud of her. She got back up straight away and after having a little moment and got straight back on. It was terrifying, but I was so proud at the same time. And again, this is sort of the lessons that you learn through horse riding. No matter what happens, when you get chucked off, you get back up and you get going again. And I think that'll set her really well in life as well. But whilst I was on that, like I said, Willow is a new pony, and we do have a horse riding school in the family, Carrington Riding Centre, for anybody who may have ridden there in the Manchester area. I know the majority of people actually have. One of the older riding schools in Manchester, at least. We used to get a lot of parents get a bit upset when their daughter son couldn't ride the pony of their choice. So as in, if they were used to a certain pony, usually the easy ponies, when I say easy, the ones that just, follow the leader and go into trot when you ask and placid and all that sort of stuff. We used to change them. We used to change them on ponies, within the same sort of skill level that they're in. And the reason why we changed the ponies is because then they get used to riding. Okay, this horse won't necessarily be that forward going in trot. This one may be difficult to get into canter. This one may be difficult in turning. Whatever it is, that every horse has their own little quirks that you sort of have to overcome. And what Aiya was brought up on, she wasn't brought up on just one pony. Thanks to the riding centre, she got to ride quite a few ponies, and ever since then, we swap ponies with other riders at the pony club, and it is great, and to learn how to deal with problems that other horses may throw up at you. Why I'm saying this is that to become an all-rounder in riding and in life as well, the more challenges that you overcome, the more prepared you are to deal with that challenge again and similar ones, and will prepare you for other challenges that may come up in the future. And whilst at the time, you may not want to go and ride this, another horse that's not yours, because it is challenging. Again, challenging yourself is one of the ways you grow. It's one of the ways you learn. I'm a big fan of Stephen Bartlett, and in one of his many videos, he talks about something called invisible PR. Now, that is when you do things that you may not even know that is helping you. I think he used it as if he saw somebody help somebody else. I think it was going down to the shops to get somebody a plaster who'd injured their finger. And that was one of the things that they remembered when they were trying to promote somebody. And the reason why I bring this up is that the challenges of riding different horses can be scary. Even doing and helping people on yards or wherever it is. But what I'm trying to say is that the things that you do that you may not think are anything may actually be something huge later on down the line for somebody who you need help from, may help you in a situation where you are riding a difficult horse, and just so happens that you've learned how to deal with this particular situation because you threw yourself into something off your own back to either help someone or to challenge yourself. Something a bit off topic happened as well today that I just want to mention because I found it quite funny, and I think it's something that you, like, whoever's watching this, bear in mind. I know in the horsey world there's quite a lot of not bitchiness, but a bit backstabbing, a bit of people can be a bit nasty sometimes. And I'm going to tell you a story in a second, but next time you have the opportunity to help someone, or I don't know, compliment somebody, do it. Even if they're not beneath you or anything, or if they aren't on the same level as you, do the right thing with people. Treat people with courtesy and how you would treat anybody else. Because what I'm going to tell you in a second is exactly why. Because years down the line, that person who you may have treated badly or bitched about or whatever it is may be judging a high-end competition of yours or your livery yard manager or God knows what, your boss, in 10 years' time. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when we first started Just Horse Riders, 14 years ago, we tried to open up an account with a brand. I'm obviously not going to tell you the brand because I don't think that's right. But when we tried to open this brand, we were essentially laughed out of the the showroom. We were tiny. We opened up the first retail shop in a porter cabin on the riding centre, the Carrington Riding Centre that I mentioned before. And we weren't treated with the most respect that we probably could have been treated with, and the person dealers at the time, I don't think was particularly respectful. Anyway, 14 years on, we're now one of the largest equestrian retailers online, and I get a phone call today from the same brand, 14 years ago that rejected us ever so crudely. And it's so funny because if that person 14 years ago would have been nice and respectful and whatnot, I most likely wouldn't even be thinking about whether to take on this brand or not. However, because of the way I was treated, it's left a very bitter taste in my mouth. And I don't know whether I'm going to not continue to open the account with them. So it's funny, a decision that someone made 14 years ago has now come back around to essentially possibly bite them in the backside. Whenever we're doing anything and dealing with customers or anything like that, you don't know what you're. I watch a lot of Stephen Bartlett. He mentions something called invisible PR. When we help customers, again, we don't sit out here. I don't brag about it a lot, but there's a lot of the times where we get messages where people can't afford certain things, and can we do it at a discounted price, or if they're an animal rescue centre, for example, or a riding school, or we try and help where we can, and we always find that, again, we never expect anything back in return, but we always tend to get other people coming to us telling us about the story of how we help these other people. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because it's so important to make sure that you treat people with respect, and especially in the horse world where it can be a bit bitchy. Next time the thought crosses your mind that you're going to either, knock somebody down or belittle somebody, try and take a different route, because you never know what that person may end up being to you in 10 years' time. You will have, please God, we all have long lives, and especially in the horsey world, you're probably going to come across the same person again at some point. And that person may be in a position to make a decision on something that you really need or want. But yeah, that was sort of it for this week. I hope Aiya's story has inspired all of the horse riders out there to make sure to get up after your fall. And I hope my story has inspired you guys to treat each other with respect. My goodness, this is getting a really touchy-feely sort of section now, isn't it? But no, you know what I mean. That's just my thoughts this week. As every week, I try and tell you what's been going on through in my life and in the business. So there it is for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.